Hey everyone, my name is Dan. This is Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden, Sea of Moving Ice, Gods of Fury. This is a 6th to 7th level adventure that works well with Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden for Chapter 5, Oral's Abode. This adventure is meant to take place in the Sea Moving Ice, and it's a little bit of a side quest when oh, spoiler alert for anyone that is planning to play Icewind Dale Rime the Frostmaiden. You may want to stop watching because there are spoilers ahead. All right, that being said, uh, the, uh, the players are going to be heading to Oral's Abode, the island of Solstice, in search of the Professor Orb, Professor Scant. And the way that it's written in the book, the players happen across the Professor Orb um, basically without much trouble at all. And thought it'd be a fun way to introduce a side quest to go and fetch the orb. So in there's a couple adventure hooks here, but the one that I ran with my party was a group of sea hags living on the island of Solstice stole the Professor Orb off the corpse of Nas Lamentir, and then Arctic Sahuagin raided the hag's lair and stole the Professor Orb. And when the players arrive on Solstice and they find the corpse of Last Lamentir, her familiar or the ghost tells the players that the orb was stolen. They go and they interact with the hags, and hags deliver the unfortunate news that they no longer have the orb either, but they're willing to use the players as an instrument of their revenge. So the players dive down into the frozen waters, maybe with a little help from the hags, and investigate this lair. So the lair is the Temple of the Four Gods, the four gods of fury, who are Oral, Malar, Talos, and Umberlee. And if you read the back of the book, it actually explains why Oral is hiding out in Icewind Dale. It's because she's hiding from Umberlee, who is upset that Oral has frozen over the chaotic oceans. And so I'm gonna walk you through a little bit of a setup that I did of this adventure. Here I'm in Foundry Tabletop, and I've set up the map here, which is the layer that the players will be exploring. I'm going to use one of my players' characters as the explorer here. We'll use Elith, the ice sorceress, and I'm going to reset the fog here so that you can see a little bit of how this will look from the player perspective. So just giving you guys a little overview. There's the front area where there are some Sahuagin Coral Smasher guards. I should say all of the monster stat blocks are provided in the back of the supplement here for a quick reference, although a bunch of them are in Ghosts of Saltmarsh. Players will take out the guards and they'll see these motifs of the Gods of Fury, and then they will have 4 passageways that they'll get to choose to go down. Each of these passageways has a shrine to one of the 4 Gods of Fury, and each shrine has a little riddle associated with it. So let's take a look at Talos. So there's a riddle written on the wall. A lightning strike, a charge ejected, a single man would die affected. Power fails if undirected, but current flows with arms connected. Each one of these rooms has a little riddle like this. And in this room, if you hit this button on the wall, basically lightning envelops the room, and the solution to this puzzle is if player characters join arms and connect to this lightning rod over here, the charge will complete the circuit, and they will the walls will dissipate the charge, and they will receive a blessing from Talos, which is a little boon that they will get. Each of these rooms, as I said, has a different one of these little puzzles, And they're just fun little ways for players to learn about the Gods of Fury and get a couple buffs before they go and face Grimscully. So not sure what that notice was. All right, so yeah, you can see here there have a number of doors. Yeah, so you can see here I have a number of doors set up, so I'm just going to go walk Elith here through so you can see a little bit of what's going on. Of course, you're going to have to set up these walls, although Foundry Tabletop makes it pretty easy to do so. If you get the dynamic lighting right, this place looks pretty cool. The art is by a guy named Franz, who's done some really awesome artwork for the Ghost of Saltmarsh map. So let's say Elith comes in here. She kills all the guards because Elith is very powerful. Let's just assume they're all gone. And then Elith is going to look at these 3 rooms. Maybe she'll go down this room. This door is locked. Actually, it's barred from the inside because I happen to know as DM that on the other side of this wall is Oral Shrine, and the sahuagin have been keeping their eggs here. So they bar this wall, so they're going to have to choose another way. Now, if the players get lucky, they might choose to go in this direction, which will bring them to the Shrine of Umberlee. Now, the sahuagin worship the god Umberlee, at least these sahuagin. And once Elith gets in here, the High Priestess is going to trigger a trap that is going to cause a whirlpool to suck the player characters towards the front of this room, and the players are going to fight these sahuagin priestesses under the effects of the whirlpool. Assuming they win the day, because it would be unfortunate if they didn't. They managed to find some loot here, and oh, look at this. Professor Scant, the Professor Orb, was being held on his altar. So it's possible that the players may take this orb and go on their merry way off to Grimscully, but there's quite a bit more treasure to be found here. Which with each of the boons, the players are able to, if they're able to get there, they come through here. Foundry's awesome. That lets you open these doors here. There's some little side rooms where players can investigate. They come in here, they slay all the sahuagin, and then they come to this locked door here, this treasure room. So if they have gotten any of the boons, they can get through this first door. And then after here, there's 4 more treasure rooms. Now the sahuagin only have the boon of Umberlee, so they're able to get into one of the rooms already. So that's where they've stashed all their stuff. But the other rooms have never been opened, or at least have not been opened in many years since this temple was sunken into the sea moving ice. So as players acquire the boons, some of them, or all of them, they can unlock these doors and get the treasure inside. And the module lists out some of that treasure, and players are likely to be motivated by the promise of the boons or the treasure to continue exploring. And for DMs, this is nice because you get to share a little bit of the background that Oral is hiding from Umberlee. Most of the sahuagin, especially the priestesses, know that, and if they interact with any of the sahuagin, particularly this one Glauca, who's responsible for taking care of the eggs, she wants to usurp the head sahuagin priestess and is willing to work with the players to undermine her. So if they come and talk to her, they can actually find out a bit of information here. All right, there's a couple of other Easter eggs in here. There is a sahuagin wereshark. The sahuagin have killer whales that they ride, although here they're just keeping the whales in sort of a holding area. It's up to you if you want to introduce sahuagin whale riders, maybe while the players are riding Angajuk through the sea moving ice. So the module is on DM's Guild right now. You can get it. Actually, happens to be on sale for the New Year's sale. It is normally for $3, or you can purchase it with the Adventure Bundle. And my Adventure Bundle has 3 adventures on sale for bundle price of $6 rather than the $9. and it has a low-level adventure set in the Dwarven Valley, of course, the Sea Moving Ice adventure that we just looked at, and a expansion of the um, Goliath, the Goliath feud, where players can get a little more into that and potentially fight a dragon. So that's all, and hope you enjoyed this video. I'll try to make some more if it goes over well. All right, thanks a lot.